What's going on? This is But I'm Not Wasted. I am your host, Zach Wolf. This is the podcast for lovers and makers of music. Let's go. What's up, buddy?
When the music fades and all is stripped away, and I simply come, longing just to bring something that's a worth that'll bless your heart. I'll bring you more than a song, for a song in itself is not what you have required. You search much deeper within, through the way things appear. You're looking into my heart. So I'm coming back to the heart of worship, when it's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. I'm sorry, Lord, for the thing I made it. When it's all about you, it's all about you, Jesus.
Woo! Sounded awesome.
Thank
As
you.
you could probably tell from my last episode, I'm a pretty bad guitar player. So
You were great.
I was struggling through that. Okay, we are still recording. I'm going to turn the mic down a little bit. It's probably really hot. Well, welcome to But I'm Not Wasted, episode 3. Woo! This is Angela Manzanares. Earlier, did I say it right?
Manzanares.
Manzanares. Earlier, I said Angela Martinez as a joke on accident.
Yeah,
So
sure.
anyways, this is my friend Angela. She is amazing. She is from, well, she's not from, but she lives in San Diego, which is where I'm at currently. And yeah, she does music. So I wanted to have her on the show to kind of talk about her process with music and kind of her background and experience and just give her perspective. Obviously, most of the show so far has been me giving mine. But yeah, I want to hear from someone who knows more than me. So that's why Angela's here. So, but yeah, Angela, if you just want to introduce yourself, maybe say a little like brief intro, just kind of, what you do and who you are and all that.
Yeah. Hello. My name is Angela Manzanares.
Manzanares, please
you
forgive
said.
me, all my non-white friends.
And been living in San Diego for almost 2 years now. I'm from Northern California, and I am a worship leader, lead worship at my church, which I'm sure we'll dive into that story a little bit more. But yeah, super excited to be chatting.
Let's go. Well, we're going to get right into it, mostly because I had a really hard time setting up the audio for this. So we are behind time. So we have to get this out before Angela has to go to lead worship or help out with church or something. I don't know. But not lead worship, but something
The
with
next
the
thing.
church. And we'll be there as well. Okay, so first question is, how did you get into music initially?
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Also, you're probably going to be able to hear these little stupid beanbags the whole time. They're like super like whoosh. So apologize in advance, listeners, if the audio sucks
It's
for this
actually
episode.
just white noise, ocean sounds.
Yeah,
That's
it's because
actually
we're
what
right
you're
next to the water. Yeah.
We're just on the beach right now. If you're not
ambiance.
watching the video version of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so music. I was terrified of singing like my whole life. And when I was really little, my grandpa would like throw me up on stage because he pastored a small church, and I just like hated the attention. So honestly, I locked my voice up for most of my life and never sang in front of anybody. And then fast forward into like college, I'm a believer personally, Christian.
So am I. Keep it up, baby.
And so one day I was in my room just like praying, and I felt the Lord speak to me and just say like, hey, this fear that you have of singing, I want you to get over that, because I want to use your voice to
Awesome.
bless other people. And so yeah, I just felt this nudge to like push past this fear I had had my whole life. And so I forced myself to go to these like tryout things that my church at the time was having for like their worship.
And this is in San Diego or Sacramento?
This is Sacramento. This
Okay.
is back in like 2014.
Cool.
And yeah, was shaking, whole drive there, wanted to throw up, didn't even know if I was good. but just wanted to push past this fear.
Joke's on them. She's amazing.
Ew, thank you. And yeah, so showed up to this tryout thing and basically started singing, and they were like, what in the world? We had no idea you could sing. And so that's kind of how I got into singing. Started leading worship at that church, learning the technical stuff like about in-ears and all that. And just found this huge passion for that. And then shortly after that, I ended up switching churches to this one that's pretty well known for their music in the Christian world. They're called Jesus Culture, but they tour, they put out albums, have done a lot of cool stuff, and they have a lot of leaders that I have always really respected and admired. And anyway, started going to that church, again, pushed past that fear and ended up making it on that team. And just, through pushing past that fear, I saw a lot of really cool doors open up and have gotten to learn from some vocalists and worship leaders that I really, really respect. And it's just been a really, really cool journey.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
It's crazy how when you push past fear, how many things are on the other side of fear. It's almost I feel like that's been my experience too. You think pushing past fear is just for the sake of the one thing that you're actually going for, but it actually opens up all those other things, how God opened up all those doors where you got to work with these people that you maybe looked up to and learn from them on a whole nother level. Mm-hmm. If you had known that when you initially felt fear, you probably would have been well, it's worth pushing past it for that, but you don't know till you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool.
It's been amazing. I mean, then got to see more into the recording world and do some BGBs on some albums and stuff. And
albums you've probably heard of today. What albums have you done BGBs for?
Some of the Jesus Culture ones. I'm trying to remember the names. I think I'll have to look it up after, but they came out in 2020.
So sick. I was probably listening to them yes, God, and then Angela was singing on them. That's amazing.
But yeah, I've gotten to do a lot of really cool projects and stuff, and just that is what happens, I think, when we push past what we're afraid of and, listen to that thing that we feel called to. So
that's amazing. What are your dreams around music or vision for your future in music? What's kind of the best case scenario for where, music takes you, where you decide to take it, I guess?
Yeah. I love music because I feel like it's a way to connect with people in a way that is unlike any other way of connecting. And so honestly, I'm pretty open. My personal passion is leading worship either at church, or I lead this thing in San Diego where we go out to the beaches and we'll do worship out there. And I've just seen the most incredible things happen from that. And so I'm kind of just wide open because I feel like God has blown my mind so many times that I'm all right, Lord, you do what you want to do with my life and with my voice. And I think I'd love to get better at songwriting and maybe put out a few songs.
Well, sweet.
Yeah.
Let me know if you need a producer.
Hey,
I'm here
for it.
We'll
co-write or something.
Yeah, let's go. Sick. And maybe helpful context for some of the listeners. Worship music is the category of music that's church music specifically around Christianity. And yeah, worship is amazing. For me, for my own journey with my faith, I don't want to say spirituality because that's really general, because it's Jesus, is the specific, that's what we're talking about here. But worship music for me was where I first had some of my most intense kind of encounters with God, I would say, where I really experienced something that I was oh, that wasn't me. That was an actual real experience that led me to believe in Jesus as God. So worship is really powerful in the church and hopefully outside the church too. And then, what is I guess you kind of answered this, but what is your why behind why you chose to do music in the first place? I know you said you had that initial fear that you overcame, but what was the purpose even at all to start?
I remember in college, I had this psychology professor who said that music is the one thing in the human experience that lights up almost every part of your brain, I think, unlike anything else that we can experience. And so I think music just has this way of connecting right to the soul of a person. And so I'd say that's my why is...
That's cool.
Thanks. Yeah. just like being able to use my voice to be able to penetrate the heart of a person. And yeah, I love people. I love connecting with people. And so I think music's a really powerful way to do that.
That's so sick. Have you seen that Disney movie with like the jazz player? He's like, it's an animated Disney movie. It's like, he's like a old professor dude. He's like this old black dude, and he's like a jazz music professor, and he sings and plays piano. Do you know what I'm talking about? Soul. Have you seen Soul?
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh, it's so good. It's so cute. I don't know. Maybe that's a weird fact, but I love Disney movies.
Is it Pixar or like a live?
I think it's Disney Pixar. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's like animated, whatever. But it's so cool because it's like, actually, I don't know if it's Disney Pixar, to be honest with you.
Probably.
I have no idea. Probably
Sure
it is. But basically, he's like a jazz piano player, and he's like a musician, like a teacher, and he dies, and he goes to this like in between space between death and like life. It's obviously not like real. It's like just made up for the movie. But part of it is he sees what people's souls look like when they're fully alive. And it's really beautiful. It like depicts this. Actually, I think the directors are Christians apparently, which is kind of cool because it kind of makes sense. But basically it shows what happens to a person when they're fully alive. And for a lot of people, that's when they like hear music and they like connect with music. They like explode into all these colors, and like their soul is like floating above like the earth. It's really beautiful.
Oh, that's amazing.
It kind of made me think of that. It's like, that's what music can do for people. Is like obviously in the context of connecting with God, but like music helps people kind of get to that place of, even if you don't believe that part of it, it's like undeniable that music is like makes you come alive, right? And so that's cool.
That's amazing. Even like I've sang at some senior care homes, and there's people with like dementia, like don't remember anything, don't know where they are, but as soon as you start singing like a Frank Sinatra song or something, they'll know like every word and they'll sing along with you. So music's just so
that's
powerful.
Crazy. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. Okay. So my last question is what would you say to someone else considering going into music? Like maybe someone that was where you were years ago when you were like, I want to do this, but I'm afraid. Like, what would you give them?
I have a question for you.
Let's go.
What would your life look like without...
This is Angela, by the way. She's very like in a helpful way. Like she's very direct, and she'll like call the things out that you're like probably be thinking through but insecure about. And so that's what I've gained from being friends with Angela so far, is like I can't sit on, like I can't be passive, which is like I'm not really a passive person, but I feel like Angela's made me even more like, oh my gosh, I have to be intentional because she's going to ask about these things. So get ready for an Angela moment. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah.
I would just ask, like, what would your life look like without any fear? Wow. That is a question that has changed my life and that I try to live by. And so if it's fear that's holding you back, or insecurity or self-doubt, like just drop that. I think if you have a passion for music, I think the world needs the gift that you have. There's only one of you. There's only one of your mind. And so we need your songs. So do it.
I love that. That's amazing. I think that's so good. Like, I mean, yes, echo that. Said it better than I could have said it. But I think for me too, that's been a big part of my journey coming back to Southern California. Because for those of you that know, I lived here before. I was signed. I had all these like really big opportunities in music, but it didn't work out for various reasons. And so I think I had a lot of fear, and even I still feel fear being back here, because I have this like memory in my body of what it felt like to be here last time. And it was really hard. Like things didn't work out. I got like really big opportunities, nothing panned out. And so I think for me in this season, I'm making this about me. I'm not trying to make this about me.
This is so good.
But like for me, overcoming fear has been so important, because I've had so much fear of like, oh my gosh, last time it was horrible. Like it was just like all fell in my face. You know, like I went from getting national radio play and being really connected to all these people in the music industry to like serving at a Bubba Gump's restaurant in Santa Monica and having like not $1 to my name, and everything kind of fell apart. So for me, stepping into the thing I'm afraid of and going after it has been really rewarding, but still really scary. So all to say, that speaks to me. And I hope that, listener, whoever you are, like push through whatever that is that you're afraid of to, what did you say? Like, what would you do if you didn't have any fear? Yeah.
What would your life look like without any fear?
That's so good. Awesome. Well, sweet. Well, thank you, Angela.
Thank you.
That's what we have for today.
Yay.
Sorry for getting your last name wrong earlier. That was really embarrassing. Yeah,
You're not wasted though.
I'm not wasted. Yeah, that's the name of the podcast. Totally. This is just water. So praise God.
It's just water.
This is what happens. Yeah, I'm on agua.
Big water drinkers. We love
Big
water.
water guy. Big water drinkers here. Yeah, thanks so much for listening. Like, subscribe, follow us on YouTube, everywhere podcasts are found, but I'm not wasted. My Instagram is Zach Wolf Music. Angela's Instagram is
Angela Manzanares.
not Martinez. Oh my God. Please don't let me get canceled from this episode. Anyways, thank you guys. You're awesome. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Peace. Hey guys, thanks so much for listening. Please rate, review, subscribe. Like legit, I want to know your feedback. I want to know if you liked it, if you didn't like it, talk about different things, whatever you want. Just send me messages, DM me on Instagram, Zach Wolf Music. Share this everywhere across your social media that helps us grow. And yeah, stay tuned for next week. Let's go.